Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
Let's go. United Front. Tahir RBG. Yeah. Let's go. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. You peak pale skin beast. I hate your red, white, and blue. And Ku Klux Klan sheep. I hate your president, your senate, and your campaign speech. I hate the British and the Romans and the goddamn Greeks. It's no peace, yeah. Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak his language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan, it's a waste of time. You out your African mind. Gonna make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Crackers, you did it, now it's time to die. I spray the ratchet, I blat it, no moving backwards. I'm sending bullets at crackers and all faggots. Forward is the motion. Killing devils on different levels, concocting potions to stop them from encroaching on our way of life. I got a knife to slit his throat with. Get my people hyped, cause what I write is always dopeness. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Take a step in my lane. I'm projecting the pain. Visions and pictures in my veins of us tortured and slain. So many sons and daughters slaughtered, some known on the name. Bringing my eye to the situation is why I came. Shake every pet nation gon' exterminate. Marcus Garvey, Mugabe, politics run them all away. KPI type methodology, how the gods play. Try life and I don't play. Kill these crackers in broad day. Enter the scene, got them clean and watch me swerve at it. Big juju in my pocket, I ain't worried about it. That go for grown-ups to babies. Salute my Baba Khaled, Muhammad, we solid. I call for violence, we very valid. Yeah, murder these devils, it's divine order. We opposites, I reject the mixing like oil and water. Africa for Africans, representing them words strong. I say shut them borders down and let us get a purge on.
I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
This ain't no kumbaya vibe. My yasa is a war cry. That's my war cry. Double H famine. It's wartime. Devils want it all. What's peaceful coexistence? Answer separation. He's violently resistant. Coupe tech, bullet high. Hit the deck when bullets fly. The devil won't change and needs to be euthanized. The stupidness, foolish minds you will get. Use you blind. Suicide. Trusting this cracker is suicide. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know the play. That peace talk is juvenile. It really don't hold no weight. Fighting hate with love sounds great in theory, but never ever ever work in history. Name one place that this cracker went. Name one place that this cracker left alone. I bet that they was war prone. Keep a piece in your wardrobe and know the world's a war zone.
I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate that hate produce. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truth. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Oh, Black Power, people. Oh man, Black Power. Family. I've been going off. I've been talking for the last 15 minutes, and my line was on mute, and I only know because the Queen just hit me on the other line. Oh man. I apologize, family. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to hit my whole monologue all over. I don't know how that happened, but my line was muted, and I don't know what was going on. Oh man, I apologize for that, family. But we had a little delay just now due to the fact that my phone line was muted. And I thought I was speaking to the crowd. Seeing lines dropping in and out. Let me open up this chat room, and maybe then I can find out what's going on. Oh, man, family, I really do apologize for that right there. I don't know. I was speaking for 15 minutes straight. And Black Power, 619. I'll open people's lines up, closing them back down. Like I said, I apologize for that, family. Let me start all over then, because what I said I was dealing with, we're going to deal with media today. I'm going to come in and praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long in the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Sister Camille, Black Power.
Black Power, King.
Hotep. Queen, I wish you would have started talking when I unmuted your line, because I was speaking to you, as I was saying earlier, I was speaking for the last 15 minutes, going through my monologue. I'm thinking you can't hear me. I'm like, oh, the Queen, something's wrong with the Queen line. Oh, man. I'm glad you texted me just now, because if you wouldn't have texted me, I would have never known that I wasn't on the air. I would have never known. But we'll come in again, welcome to Black Power Block. This is your brother Born. I'm here with my co-host, Sister Camille. We like to give praise to
I know you did that already, King.
No, go ahead. No, Queen, we didn't do it because, like I said, I was on mute.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, family, we got to start it off with an African first, second, and third. Praise Nat Turner, glory to God, along with the spirit of Dr. Khalid Muhammad.
And praise Harriet Tubman, glory to Ida B. Wells, long live the spirit of Sister Fannie Lou Hamer. Welcome to Black Power Block. Tonight, it's the war room. We're getting it in. As I said, I apologize to family. We came in a little late by accident. It was due to a mishap, but like I said, it's not like I said because you didn't hear me, but we be going in on the media, wartime, the reasons for media, things that we need to be doing. And I'll tell you this, it took so long. I was reading, and what happened was, Sister Camille, is I was reading from the Brother Irritated Genie's book. So, I just had a whole little spill going on. And family was in, family was out. And like I said, for the family just now coming in, we're going to do it up nice for you right now. But as I said, I want to put this piece in from the War on Horizon, Black Resistance to the White Sex Assault, authored by the Irritated Genie of Southeast, Positive Comedic Visions. If you don't have the book, please look into the warhorizon.com website. You can pick the book up there. Also some other DVDs, different things of that nature. But we want to get right on into this and waste no time on it. And what we're talking about is the Caucasian in this system. And we're going on page 11, we're going to go down to the last paragraph. And we're going to start with, in order to support the types of system of brazen assaults against other races, whites have developed a high-tech, elaborate system of trickery, oppression, and death known as racism and white supremacy. Racism and white supremacy is a system developed by whites to conquer, exploit, and annihilate all non-white people for planet Earth. The system has a global set of principles, rules, and regulations that whites follow in order to dominate the rest of the world's inhabitants. Key ingredients are trickery, thievery, violence, murder, rape, and miseducation. The system has been developed, expanded, and refined over the course of thousands of years. It is so sophisticated today that most black people cannot easily identify the system and certainly do not understand the intricacies of how it operates. but it permeates every area of our people activity. Neely Fuller, author of the book The United Independent Compensatory Code System Concept, has identified 9 major areas of people activity. Positive kinetic vision has added help. These 10 areas are listed in alphabetical order below: economics, education, entertainment, health, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Most of these things, human beings and Europeans do fall into one of the areas listed above. White supremacy dominates all of these areas. It is the most powerful and pervasive social, political, economic system in the world today. It is the only system that African people live under on planet Earth. It is the only relevant system practiced by whites, and all whites participate in the system on some level. Whites seldom admit that the system exists, but the evidence is in the very condition of the world today. Our brilliant sociologist and psychologist, Bobby E. Wright, so properly stated in his book, The Psychopathic Racial Personality, the result of the system of racism and white supremacy is that everywhere one finds whites and blacks in close proximity to one another, whether it is Chicago or Zimbabwe, the whites are in control. This defies every known statistical law or probability. They have seized control of the minds, land, and resources of black people everywhere. Whites commonly support this phenomenon with the manufactured myth of black inferiority. They say whites are naturally smarter and more capable than black people. But the truth is that this phenomenon is a direct result of the system of racism and white supremacy. The only thing whites do better than black people is kill their enemies. And if we were inclined to focus our energy in this way, we could beat them at that. We mentioned trickery as one of the key ingredients of the system of racism and white supremacy. Whites have mastered the science of using words and language to keep non-whites confused about our oppression. Again, whites have mastered the science of using words and language to keep non-whites confused about our oppression. They consistently provide coded language for black people to use when attempting to describe white racial abuse. The language whites provide is clear to them, but usually unclear to us. It rarely identifies whites as the source of our problems and usually leaves the victims of racism and white supremacy, black people, handicapped when attempting to describe our condition. When we are forced to discuss our oppression without identifying the white race as the oppressor, many of us find ourselves talking in circles. Sometimes this alone is frustrating enough to make a person stop trying to understand and confront the issues. At times, we begin to develop our own language to describe our situation. It is only then that the system of racism and white supremacy begins to be decoded. Only after we develop an adequate comprehension of the use of language in this system can we begin to organize against white aggression. Two individuals who have led the way in decoding the language system of racism and white supremacy are Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, author of the ISIS paper, and Neely Fuller. We got some of the words right here. We might get into them a little bit later in the dialogue, but one of the things that we wanted, I also wanted to put in was a definition of media, so we can really know where we're going to, and what we're dealing with. And so, media, which is a noun, and it's often an attributive noun. Media, the first definition is a medium of cultivation, conveyance, or expression, especially. Deal with is a medium. Media is the go-between. This is the go-between between those who have information and those who don't have the information. And depending upon what media it is, it doesn't matter what media it is, in actuality, whether it be newspaper, internet, radio, television, magazines, most of the textbooks and curriculum that you get. All of these are ways in order for people to inject ideas and views into your mind, and it is up to you whether or not you will accept them, and that's dependent upon your own level of consciousness when dealing with the media that is pushing the view. So dealing with our African struggle right here, we're dealing in a wartime. So what I suggest is that we have warlike media, and we must understand that anything that we are dealing with as Africans here in this wilderness, it is always a war. It is always a battle going on. There's always a war at hand with racism and white supremacy. Now, it's upon you whether or not you will engage in the war. But regardless if you engage in the war, you have the high probability of being a casualty of said war. So, we're going to have open lines tonight. We're going to make sure family get in and do it right. But just with that passage that I put in and that little definition, Sister Camille, you got anything you wanted to add on? No, is it my line? Sister Camille.
Hotep, Brother Bourne, that was dead on. Brother Genie hit it right on the head. That's why I'm so thrilled that I'm down with this right here, because it is a war. Brother Genie couldn't pick a better name, War on the Horizon.
I say on that. Now, definitely, you couldn't have a better name than War on Horizon. And as I was saying, right now what we're dealing in entertainment. Our war front is entertainment right now. Media is entertainment. Entertainment, though most times has a connotation of being something negative, but entertainment it just basically means that one is to enter into a mind and capture it in order to convey a message. Now, it's dependent upon the message whether or not it's negative or positive. That's always dependent upon who's giving the information, how or who you're being entertained by, or what you're being entertained by. This is why we're looking to build stronger alliances with even more African-centered controlled media outlets in order for us to be able to streamline our propaganda in the same mannerism that racism, white supremacy streamlines their propaganda into effective bulletin points to always be effective to the psyche of the African, always be detrimental to the African, to always keep the African in a mannerism of subjugation to racism, white supremacy. So what I'm looking for right now is to build just the connections with other media outlets and sources, and for us to be able to do that same exact thing. And this goes for even the people who just in the listening audience, everyone who's in the audience who listens to media. You are also media on the ground. Things that are going on in your city, things that are happening in your neighborhood are important to the whole of the community. So we must all be on our on our job with disseminating proper information to our people in order for them to wake up. That's all of our jobs. That's just not, one person or one thing. We must look at this as a collective. That's where we at right now, is the collective, because that's how media is passed on. The best media is passed on through word of mouth. The best products are passed on through word of mouth. So the best ideas are passed along that same way. We must pass along the best of things through the word of our mouth. So, when you're in your community, just think about the things that you are putting out to the people, the things that you are projecting towards your family.
Ashe.
So, Sister Camille,
and you're right, Brother Bourne. Yeah, no, I was going to say you're right, because it's the Cracker Beast media that has shaped the mindset of our people, and even to the other, their own crackers, you know what I'm saying? And so it's imperative that we have our own tool of African-centered media that is pushing or promoting our Bibi Fahodie. Also painting a true picture on our plight, showing that disintegration has been nothing but a death knell for us as a whole, as a people, and that we need to strive for separation. We need to strive for extermination, or if that's too heavy for some people, then let's just say we want complete exclusion of all things Cracker Beat, their culture and their mores. And media is the first way to plant that seed in the minds of our people.
Mhm. Yes, indeed. But you're saying that if you can't, you got to be able to stomach. You have to be able to stomach the ending of your enemy the same way that your enemy the ending of you. They portray it all the time. They put it. See, this is the negative media propaganda. This is the reason why they would show You know, the brother Mike Brown laid out in the middle of the street to project to us our death and destruction and said that, look, man, we can do this in front of you, no fear. You understand? We're allowed to see these things in order for us to be able to take it to ourselves that it's okay for us to be murdered. You understand? They want us to be okay with us being the butler. They want us to be okay with just marching. You know, they want us to be okay with the nanny, the help, driving this daisy. This is what they want us to be comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with driving this daisy, if you're not comfortable with being the help, then you will be the Rodney King out here. You will be Mike Brown out here. You will be Trayvon Martin out here. You will be Oscar Grant. You will be Ramarley Graham. You will be Eric Garner. Now, you take your choice. And so this is what the media is portraying to us. So what we want to do is we want to give our black people a different choice. We want to give them the Bookman Dada choice. We want to give our people the Khalid Abdul Muhammad choice. We want to give our people the Nat Turner choice. This is the choice we want to give our people. We want to give them the Colin Ferguson choice. We want to give them a different choice, the Robert F. Williams choice, the Harriet Tubman choice. Them to have a different choice, a different outlook, someone else they can look to as a hero or a hero. We want to give them the Winnie Mandela choice. We want to give them the Dahomey Queen's choice. We want to give them the Queen Nzinga choice. When we start to choose, but we no longer want to keep giving them the Al Sharpton, the Jesse Jackson choice. We want to start making these choices that our people are comfortable with, because we have been comfortable with passive nature. We've become comfortable with being with allowing ourselves to be passive, and this is not going to work in this year right here, this 2015. We see ourselves moving forward. We're glad to be moving forward. I'll put in a couple things about some things going on with our people today. You know, like I said, it's open line. So, family, if you got anything to add on, all you got to do is press 1 and come on in. Tell us what you got going on in your community, what's on your mind today. We're going to let you right on in.
Brother Bourne, you know, speaking on the media tip, I'm finding something very interesting. You know, Coon Oprah, the queen of the coons, I'm noticing something going on here with the Corny Selma movie and also with the 12-Year Slave. Both of the actors, the main actors involved in this, are from overseas England. Mm-hmm. I find that quite interesting that you got Africans who was not part of this Mayafa or part of this struggle that we went through playing these roles. I don't understand that. And I know there's some propaganda in that some kind of way. I just haven't figured it out yet.
You know, you're saying that. One of the things that I found very interesting about the African here in America, we shy away from certain roles. You know the role of Sarah Bartman. The role of Sarah Bartman was played by not a Cuban, an African who lived in Cuba. And one of the things about people who live in Cuba and some of these islands is that they, especially a lot of the Spanish islands, they normally think that if they speak Spanish, that they're not African. That if they speak Spanish, somehow they're from Spain. And so they don't look at the slavery or the degradation inside of America that happened to the Africans in America as something that happened to them. So they're willing to take on roles that seem compromising or that from the outlook would look compromised, you know, because, and that's something that I see I've seen more than once, you know, and you're mentioning, 12 Years a Slave and this new Selma movie right here. But, you know, the Selma movie is perfectly in line with what's going on today. All this energy that the youth pushing from up out of Ferguson And, we said it a couple weeks ago. It was the spirit of Colin Ferguson being revisited here in Ferguson. The understanding of racism, white supremacy, and that we're going to have to get out here and get busy with them. The Martin Luther King Day just passed. The people in Ferguson still protesting, and the protester now is that Mike Brown means we got to fight back. There's no more hands up, don't shoot. The chant is now Mike Brown means we got to fight back. And these things are being said. Now, I'm not saying that Oprah didn't have this Selma movie already in the works. Normally, most of these movies have been in the works. But it's that racism, white supremacy is a good calculator of time and pressure. So they utilized media. They knew that this movie was coming up, so they said, hold on. They utilized this whole Mike Brown, and they utilized the death of our brother Mike Brown to push our button to see where are they at right now, because they always got to put they always got to put their finger on the pulse of the nation. But in order to check that, you have to check how angry are they with us? Are they ready to revolt or turn over? We got to check that. So that's what they do. They were checking that. So they allowed the media to push that right after the Trayvon. They allowed them to push the Eric Garner. They allowed the media to scope that. They're pushing our minds to anger. Say, look, all right, we lit the fuse. Let's see where they're going with it. Now they see that they knew that however it went, we need something to diffuse it. We need something to make sure that they stay alive. You understand? So that movie probably could have been pushed out in November. You understand? September. But it was all, let's just wait. But now what's happened? It's January. It's January, and the theme has changed for a lot of the protesters. The theme is now, we got to fight. Won't be none of that. It ain't going to be this other stuff. We're not going to talk this out no more. We see that we're going to have to fight back. So with that, you thrust the Selma movie right on time. Right on time. Let's calm this on down. Let's calm this down. Barack will be leaving next year. But before he leaves, though, this 2015, we got to see who we going to be pumping. What are black people's minds at? Where they heart at? How they feel? And that's how I see what's going on with this media also, dealing with this whole Selma, dealing with the whole Selma, dealing with these several just integrationist, compliant, super compliant, need to grow type of feel good movies. All of these things, to me, are being used because they understand that black people are angry now and already knew this, but they wanted to push our button and then be able to be the ones to also quell that fire at the same time. So I think we need to be very leery of Harpo Productions. Be very leery of anything that comes out of Harpo Productions. So that's what that's what I see is going on right now, Queen.
I couldn't have broke that down better, and that's real. And one of the main things, as you mentioned, that they pushing is that integration shit, and it bothers me when I hear, you got white people out here protesting or whatever, and it gives the impression that this ain't a racial thing when it is, and it's to mislead our people to make them think that all of these black young boys and girls getting murdered ain't got nothing to do with race, even though it's only our people being slaughtered out here in the streets, a state-sanctioned assassinations. You know what I'm saying?
Now, that was the push of the All Lives Matter. You see, they turned Black Lives Matter to All Lives Matter. They said, wait a minute. Not just Black Lives Matter. How come all lives don't matter? And you're like, well, we wouldn't be talking about any lives if it wasn't for Black lives. Because we already got the understanding if y'all lives matter. We know if y'all lives matter. The only thing we're talking about is Black lives matter right now. We're talking about these black men right here murdered. These black women right here murdered. These black babies right here murdered. Now, when white people get killed, there'd be indictments, people go to jail, shit like that. We don't even care. white on white crime, me personally, I'm saying that. White on white crime, I care less about. Crackers killing crackers, kill each other right off. I applaud you. I give you a hand. And if there's anybody, a Cracker Jesus can help me out with it, go get some more of them. You know, I don't have no problem with white on white crime at all. So, you know, that's my thing, situation, to run this all lives matter, who matters and who don't matter. Nobody has a right to come in and tell Africans how we are to express our anger, and that's what the Caucasians come in to do. They come in to co-opt our expression. Because they need us to only express it in a certain manner because they know that they know at the end of the day that you next. They know if they don't get in, be able to quell our energy or get to push it away and say, well, look at these. It ain't the whites. It's the 1%. It ain't them. It's the elites. It's the have really against the have-nots. It's class war. It ain't race war. It's class war. You know, which is ridiculousness. There's no such thing as class war here in this wilderness of North America. There's only two classes. There's only two classes anywhere. It's always that. There's always that. It's those who are on top and those who not. That's always there. But when we're dealing with racism and white supremacy is that even with the people who ain't got nothing, they still on top. What the fuck is this? But you know, what is this? Really? What is this? That you can use your white skin in order for you to better secure a future for your family. That's period, point blank. I tell the white boy I was in the class. I'll tell you this, I'm in the class with the white boy. We inside this thing, and now I'm near helping out in a group. It's brothers who coming in from jail. It's like a halfway house type of thing. You know, we bring the brothers in, talking to them about, you know, just trying to keep them stable. You know, steady. You know, just keep them stable, keep them good conversation, have them focused. What you're going to, you know, what you're going to be doing in the next week, dealing with their jobs, dealing with how you plan on transitioning from right here to it's like a sober house. You know, how you going to transition from the sober house, whatever have you. So you know, maybe 15 brothers in there, 15 brothers, a white boy, two white boys, matter of fact, two white boys, because another one came in, two white boys, and two Puerto Ricans, right? Two quote-unquote Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I said that is because one of them you could see was very fairly light. The other one looked, you could not tell that he was what you would normally consider a Puerto Rican, that light-skinned, curly-haired looking type of dude. Wasn't that. He was fairly brown-skinned, darker than me. Mother was, you know, he had a bald head. You know, you couldn't really tell what his hair grade was or anything like that. But, you know, brother, we looking sort of alike. But anyway, we in the class, and I'm looking around, and the white guy's like, you know, this little young white guy. He's like, you know, white was like 19. He in the sober house. Some brothers in there, they old brothers in there, 40, 45, 50, coming home. You know, they older, so, you know, it's harder for them to be able to get jobs. And I'm looking at the white boy. He got on like some super big, baggy-looking jeans. He looks like whatever you see in the hip-hop video, like, and not like the new faggoty ones, but like the old-school Wu-Tang, like, hip-hop videos. So he's looking like that. Got the Timbs on and, you know, the fitted and everything, and he's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I mean, yo, it's hard out here, you feel me? You know, he's hood. He's super hood. He's OG Bobby Johnson inside the class. And so going around, and so we're talking about the things that we do, and I say, you know, my job, what I do inside the community is I fight racism and white supremacy. Immediately, all the white people, the white boys just look at me like, yo, what? What you just said? I'm like, yo, listen, you know, I'm not even going to get into that part. That's a story for a whole other day. But they immediately look at me. But I said to the white boy, I'm like, yo, you know, it's one thing to be black. Y'all understand racism and white supremacy, right? They're like, yeah, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's harder for black people out here just because who they are. They're like, yeah. I'm like, yo, listen, why don't you take them baggy-ass pants off, put you on some khakis, put your button-down shirt on, put you on a tie, and go use your white complexion for protection. Why don't you use your white skin to win, man? Why don't you do that? Why are you busy not trying to do that? Because that's you know, and he sat there for a while and just looked, was like, yo, I don't know. I'm like, but, you know, you understand that that's how easy it is for you, is that all you had to do was take those clothes off, put on the outfit, or you know, the regular white guy they wear, and you would automatically be accepted in their world. He's like, yeah, you know, I would. I'm like, that's racism and white supremacy. Right there, just talking to him. I'm like, all right. I'm like, so for the whole class could see immediately. Can, you know, that's a real reality. That he not really as down as we are. It's because he want to be here. But all he had to do was change his clothes, and he'll be good. Ain't no change of clothes you're gonna put on. If you're black, you ain't change your clothes. So you know, and that's what media wants you to know. This is what happened with the brother that just got shot in Oklahoma. The brother just got shot in Oklahoma. The sheriff, you know, I'm gonna call him a brother. You know, he's the sheriff. I don't want to say you know. Anyway, black man gets shot, white survivalist, 4 times, 3 of them inside the bulletproof vest, 1 time in the arm. The white man is labeled a survivalist. He's let clean, no charges. You understand? Now, this is some unheard of to me for anybody to shoot a police and not get charged. But this is the day and time we in. This is how the media is changing. Because they want white people to know hunting season is on. So you know what y'all got to be aware of? Hunting season is on. So we got to turn it on too. As the brother irritated Gene so well stated right here, the only things whites do better than black people is kill their enemies. And if we were inclined to focus our energy in this way, we could beat them at that. So we got to refocus our energy. We got to refocus it. It can't be, and that's not to take, I wish I could just take everybody Abrahamic faith away. But I'm saying, the war we got to fight ain't going to be one fought with spirits and morals and principalities. The war that we got to fight is going to be one physical. It's going to be hand-to-hand, bloodshed. It's going to be that. It's going to be boots on the ground. Because this is just inevitable when we going down. We at the point in time where we needed to be, we was in a golden age. So it declined. And it's going to decline all the way into almost a stone age. Almost a stone type age. But we know this thing. We always existed. Somebody else ain't going to be able to survive during this age. No matter nuclear, winter, whatever have you. Y'all do not be afraid, African people. Do not be afraid. The victory is already ours. So y'all just, I'm just going in on that. But Sister Camille, if you want to go in, come on in, family. Like I said, it's open lines tonight. If y'all want to come on in, push 1 on your dial. I'm gonna start going down to you and see what family got on their mind. Like is Black Power block. And we getting it in nice. I'll call that number for the people in the chat room, 347-850-1836. Again, that's 347-850-1836.
Yeah, King. I had just found out. I don't know if other families that's listening know about this. You know that the movie The Help, which you mentioned earlier. Come to find out that the Cracker Beast who wrote the book actually stole African life. Elder ancestor woman, or not an ancestor, but an elder African woman worked as a maid for the author's sister-in-law. She took her name and everything, and she's suing her right now. and hopefully I can get the name to be on point before the show go off. But I found that fascinating.
And since I seen that, I'm glad you brought that up. I seen that. Stole the black woman. And you know, I seen the picture of that black woman, and she have them sisters look alike. The sister who played her looked like her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about down to these crackers ain't. You know they can't think of nothing. And then you just see they ain't worth man. They ain't worth the air they breathing. I'll tell you right now, they ain't worth the air they breathing. Come in with some mess like that. You take a woman's life, you take her, you know, how y'all wearing her out in y'all life and take it and exploit it for a movie, then they'll give the black woman no credit, no accolade, not a part in the movie, not a piece, no credit at all. No credit at all for the work that she done put in to raise y'all cracker behinds. Your people. To raise your people. That's how they get paid off of it. They're always looking to exploit. They're the virus. It's always looking to exploit. So, you know, we got a lot of things going on. And hopefully next week I can bring this brother in. We want to go in on a couple things. You know, we want to get scientific here, and we also want to deal with some legalese. Because one thing that I learned, and I like to say this to all the family out there. Hold on, you know, before I go too far, I want to thank all the family who donated, who donated to the automatics fund. Let me see. Let me read to y'all our memo that came out. Let me see. Good morning. This is for all the UAM members and all the family. All of you give yourself a big pat on the back for successfully reaching our goal of 2,150 money orders signed and ready to go. Let me not overstate our success. We are still in need of a few more volunteers to finish up signing the money orders with an ancestor that was persecuted by state-sponsoring murders. I regret reporting to you that I won't, the brother said he won't be joining on that. But let me say, all right, that's for Latrice. That's for Latrice Lee right there. That's for the lead report.
And you're right. I was talking to Sister Kay yesterday. She had told me about it. And the family that's listening, y'all need to definitely give yourselves a big hand because y'all show that we can come together and uphold our great. This is a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? It's just really fabulous.
It's like, but the brother gave us a shout out up here. You know, he shouted us out. Because we went there and I'm doing a couple of dollars just to make sure that everything was working all right. But we'd like to give definitely a shout out to Sister Sheila from Detroit. You know, we will, and also if you want to volunteer, got any help that you can give to the UAM, please call this number 917-947-8994. And, just to offer some help to Sister Butts and the other dedicated members in completing the task that Brother Maddox has requested. And we just trying to get people, now listen, this is an easy thing, family. Y'all just get in there and sign the money orders. Just put in names, or, just list ancestors and people that you know who have died at the hands of the beast or who have died in our struggle to defeat this beast. So that's all we want to do. We want to make sure that they know that the ancestors are with us. We want to put that energy forward first and foremost. I was just so happy when I got this email earlier, though. I was ecstatic when I got the email, so that was definitely a good thing, So with that being said, let me see what else we got going on today. What other stories do you got to put in today, Sister Camille? Media pushing in that we want to take and destroy and make sure that the people get to see it in the right light. Another thing, go ahead, Sister Camille.
No, this was old that I wanted to bring up. That I don't know if a lot of people saw the news report about that Asian airplane that mysteriously went disappearing.
Mhm.
Well, the last report on that, come to find out, is that the plane flew out on a Sunday where it had no license to fly out on a Sunday. In fact, this Air Asia plane never flew out on a Sunday. And I found this article interesting because, first of all, I didn't see this on the news. This is online. And the thing is that how does air traffic control, those that are in charge on the upper level management, let that happen? How did you even have tickets that sold for that day in advance, knowing that this plane has never flown on a Sunday? It didn't have license to fly. So I found that very peculiar. And again, no Cracker Beef media dealing with this information.
Now, you know, it's just that these planes, all these little Malaysian planes going into that area right there, all seem to have a lot of trouble. A lot of scientists missing, a lot of people dealing with a lot of electronic things going on there. We'll pull that together in the next few coming weeks. We'll definitely pull together a good show on that right there. But one of the things that I also want to put in real quick is that this is a new story that broke. But we want to say that we want to keep the people aware of what's going on. And this story is on Malcolm X's grandson. Mexican officials arrest 2 men in the murder of Malcolm X's grandson. You know, he was murdered in Mexico. They said Mexico City prosecutors say that they have arrested 2 men in connection with the death of Malcolm X, or Malcolm Shabazz, the grandson of political activist Malcolm X. Manuel Alejandro Perez de Jesus, 24, David Hernandez Cruz, 24, employees of the bar with Shabazz reportedly got in a violent dispute over a $1,200 bar tab. So these jokers are supposed to be going to trial now. Now this was just hit back up to the 21st. It just got. Now they said Juan Ruiz of the California. Juan Ruiz was part of the California-based labor group RUMAC, told the website that Shabazz was in Mexico to meet with one of his leaders. Suarez has been deported from the United States. Supported accusation he was murdered in Mexico City. That's all the old information. But these jokers going to trial right now. And, you know, I'm going to tell you the worst thing about this story. I'm looking at this story. The worst thing about this story is that they put them pictures up here of the brother when he was arrested for allegedly setting that fire to his grandmother's house. But it seems like there's some things going on right now that these jokers should be on trial right now. I just got this out of the DailyMail.com. Post was it should be. This showing it's the 21st in the UK already. Part of something. But it just came out. This article just came out yesterday. So they're pushing this information out right now. One that is back in the news on us right now. For what reason? What? We're going to open up. We're going to go to our break. As soon as we come from our break, we got the 678. We're going to open up the lines and let the family get in. We're going to go to our halfway break right now. It's our hour break. And we want y'all to get these jewels right here for the family. Hold on here. All right, now. Here we go.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Y'all ready for this? It's race war, the final solution. This ain't what's the problem. This ain't what's been going on for the last 6,000 years. This ain't can we find some justice. This ain't how we can come to the middle and make some kind of agreement on something. It's race war.
Let's go. Both hands shackled. Thinking to myself, this cracker slow down and dirty. The pig try to snuff me, but he ain't on my repertoire. The guard never rushed me. Kicked him right in his face and made him uncuff me. Believe that. As sure as an A-Rab armpits is musty, my bars is disgusting. Stay at the gym cause the club is lame. I'm training to beat crackers like Clubber Lang, my gun to bang. Mental slave, better tuck your chain, cause the truth in the certain scaffold, they cut the same. United Front is the fam, and the Sappho was the clan. I'm the guard, and I hit hard as 100 hands till the cracker where he stand. And if the gun is jam, I'ma have to pull the blade and stab him hard as I can. But mine is on the roll like preparing to split. But I'm all about building like Harry or Biff. I'll be standing on my square with the fist, while you got a limp wrist standing there like a please pardon my French. When we hug these mics, we get busy. I'm for money to guard, that's G-O-D. How I smash a cracker so simple. With a bat, sword of my pistol. Leave dead bodies, dead bodies. Ain't no forgiveness, no sorry. That's word, race war, you heard? Understand what I'm saying? Yeah, listen. This one's for Garvey-ites who put some bodies on it. This one's for NOY who put some bodies on it. This is for the Black Panthers with some bodies on it, blasting like John Jackson. With the shotty on them, resurrection, the Mark, Essex, the ARS, the preference, or the 357 Smith and Wesson for impression. This is for my ancestors. I break middle fingers, save your hand gestures. You're gonna need protection. I'm 360 and your ciphers incomplete. And all out race wolves is fighting in the streets. I'm beating on crackers like Tyson in the street. Put a bullet in your dome, I'm a sniper with the heat. A dude in a skirt riding Piper in the street. Talking about black power in the cypher with my feet. I drop hard bars, if you dropping there is weak. Spitting lightning when I'm writing, it's like a Viking in his sleep. Up you mighty race, you can't accomplish what you will. It's a blessing from God when the cracker gets killed. It's freedom or die for our freedom, black man, we gon' ride. We want it so bad, we might cry.
For every blow depends on breath control. So it's the first thing you must learn. Fortunately, it's easy. You'll soon learn.
I care not what your opinion is. I don't want to hear your opinion. You even choose to walk this war and declare that you're with me in your own way. Well, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Because we done tried your way for 6,000 years. Nice, warm, committed African people. And it has not worked. So now, we're going to try my way.
All right, Black Power. We back, Sally. We back. We black. You know what it is. We're about to open up the lines, and let the people get in and hear what y'all got to say out there. I got a couple more interesting articles that I want to definitely put in. One thing that I definitely want y'all to know that they got this movie out there called The Sniper, and, man, you got to see some of the comments that the white folks is making, because, as we said, media stirs the people and it directs them to what they should be doing. And this movie Sniper is basically, it's a white boy out in the desert. He's shooting, chilling, he's sniping people off. You see every comment up under it, man. I can't wait. I want to be a sniper too. Make me want to just, the movie make me want to go out and kill ragheads and things of that nature. And all it does is just, my thing is not about whether or not they're killing Arabs. It's the mind state that they're pulling that it's okay for these white people to go out and just cause havoc and destruction everywhere they at. But with that being said, we're gonna open up the lines real quick, and that's to 678, and we're gonna put some more information in a moment. With Black Power, come on in, family, with a praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. We have two rules up here: no integrationism and no N-word, and that's about it. So come on and stay strong.
Hello?
678, Black Power.
Hello, this me?
Yes, indeed, Queen. Can you give me a praise Nat Turner? Glory to Garvey and long live.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live Khalid. I wanted to add on. I was looking up on the attack on Haiti because that's not being talked about as well, and the I had to go, go back a little bit further because, I lost, contact with that. But since the earthquake on Haiti.
Hold on, Queen. You said you said the attack on Haiti.
Yeah, I was looking at Sarah and I was listening to what he said about Haiti, and so I was like, let me go back because I forgot that was what's that 2005? I can't remember exactly the earthquake exactly when that was. It was on the Port-au-Prince in Haiti. The Port.
Yeah, I remember. I recollected.
Okay, so since then, they had put in a cracker named Michael Martelli, and he's the president at the Port-au-Prince in 2011. And I looked up the other day that the Prime Minister Laurent Lamont resigned December 14, 2014, because it has continued a protest. You know what I'm saying? In the wake of continuing protests that they had that. So
go ahead, Queen.
Oh no, because but they didn't have too much information, but I just wrote that a little bit down and stuff because I was like, okay, the Prime Minister just resigned because it's a lot of protests and everything going on there. And Michael Martelli it's like the president there since the earthquake and everything since 2011.
All right. So you say after the earthquake in Haiti, the beast done come in and the Queen put in his information and just wanted to recap some of the things that happened out in Haiti, and with our family out there after the earthquake, where from a lot of the information, they were doing a lot of offshore drilling close to Haiti, bringing a lot of oil out of the ground. What we do know is that when you take oil out of the ground, it's easier for the tectonic plates. It's easier for them to scrape. It's not such a smooth rub together, and that's one of the reasons for the oil inside of the earth is that it helps the tectonic plates slide smoothly along each other, just like if you would, just like the car. The pistons in the car where you have to lubricate it to make sure that it's smoothly running. That's one of the things that the tectonic plates need is that oil. And so if you take oil out of the ground, it will cause an earthquake easier. I'm not saying that they set it up like that, but I'm saying that it is mighty suspicious that they were doing a lot of drilling there. And it's not far-fetched to think that drilling could cause an effect like that. One of the things about Haiti, though, is that it is also Haiti and the Dominican Republic are on the same island. Which is weird, and the weird thing about that is that the earthquake only affected the Haitian side of the island. The Dominican Republic side was basically unscathed. There's a lot of fighting, though, between the Dominican Republican people and the people of Haiti due to the fact of colonizing, of how they were colonizing, and Haiti being the half that broke free. Praise Book Mandela, who definitely broke free. And one of the things that they steadily do is that we see that Haiti has always been under strife since their rebellion against the French and subsequently kicking them up out of there. They've always been under attack economically. They've never been allowed to grow as a country and have always been depressed. And it seems like a slew of dictators have been down in there for a long time. We got a lot of Haitians who listen to the War Horizon show. We thank all of them for listening. That's definitely one of our strongholds. We always link arms with our brothers who ready for war, always on the front line and always fighting. You understand? So I definitely thank the sister for making, keeping us aware. And that was 2010 that the Haitian, that earthquake happened in Haiti. It was 5 years after the Hurricane and Katrina. So you got anything you want to add on about that? Any thoughts on that thing right there, that Haiti?
Nah, King, I think you summed it up perfectly.
All right. But we're going to thank the Queen for giving that. We'll come back to you, Queen. We thank you for, tuning in. And make sure that, thank you for putting that information in there for the family. All right? Black Power. All right. But, as I was saying, though, there's a lot of, we say media, we got a lot of things going on in the media, and I'm looking right now, and one of the things that I want the people to know that do not be fooled by all of these white folks out here with this shut the bridges down. One thing I will say, though, is I thank white people for shutting the bridges and stuff down. I don't care. If you destroy infrastructure, you helping to slow down the economy here, and you're doing a good deed. See, I'm not the person to say, listen, I don't have no love for white folks. But I'm not going to say white folks don't go out there and cause havoc in your own in this country. I'm not going to tell them not to do that. I'm not going to be the one to tell them, no, don't get out there and shut the streets down. I'm not going to be the one to say that. That's not going to be me at all. You'll never see me saying, nah, don't do that. White people rioted. They just rioted in Ohio. I'm not going to be like, oh, look at white people riot. Let them do it. Do what you're going to do. Do what you're going to do. We got whole other plans for us. Do what the hell y'all going to do, though, white folks. That's my thought on that thing right there. Keep yourself away from them, when they're doing what they do, because what they are agitators. White people will agitate and run. Black people, we have the uncanny ability to not see white people running and get caught in the midst of damn action. Black Power, we're going to go on down to the 619. Black Power 619. 619, your line is open. Welcome to Black Power Block. How's it going out there today? Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right, 619, they just listening in. That's all good. And randomly, they're going to be picking up and dropping at the same time. I go to one, they pick up another one, drop. What's going on here? All right. You can go to the 843. 843, your line is open. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right, the 843 just listening right now. We'll come back down to you, but again, as we strategizing, for how we are to work our way into the victory. As the sister was saying earlier, we got to have key points for us to go in on. We have to make sure that our people are aware of key strategies and things that we need. And also, we have to be more diligent in our language that we use in order for us to describe the oppressor, And one of the things that, I wanted to put in before I got off is some of the most. This is page 14, War on the Horizon, Black Resistance to the White Sex Assault. And what these are some of the most common and confusing terms and phrases used by whites to disguise the system of racism, white supremacy. So, family, these are terms that you should be listening and looking out for. We got capitalism, democracy, Jesus Christ, sexism, higher education, integration, alive, imperialism, criminal justice system, police force, homosexuality, sexual preference, pederasty, socialism, democratic process, Western civilization, Western education, war against drugs, equal rights, preserving freedom, racism, U.S. prison system, racial profiling, bisexuality, age preference, communism, Christianity, Western culture, terrorism, war against terrorism, keeping the dream, colonialism, reverse racism, multiculturalism, law and order, bestiality, and boy love. These are all illusory words and phrases that are designed to keep us from recognizing that there is only one predominant system that is oppressing black people on planet Earth, racism, white supremacy. The only context in which these words actually apply is under white rule and domination. So when we look deep into the use of these words, we find white aggression as a stimulus for their use. Here are a few examples real quick. You know, this is, and I just want to give one example. People neither believe nor have a reason to believe that some blonde-haired European will come floating out of the sky to save us and forgive us for our sins. We did not seek to be saved because we were not in bondage, but somehow the same white Christians that kidnapped us from Africa, sold us into slavery, tortured, raped, and sodomized our women, tortured and raped our little boys and girls, castrated our men forcefully, inducted us into a permanent condition of servitude, and otherwise slaughtered countless millions of African people worldwide, have successfully converted many black people into Christians and convinced us to believe that in their God. The most ironic thing about this is that whites claim it was their very same God that told them to enslave us in the first place. Historical records clearly identify Christianity as a religion that supported the African slave trade and the wholesale enslavement of black people. The Christians were the whites who enslaved us, but after 500 years of mistreatment, Christianity is still popular among the very race that it enslaved. The master teacher, Oswald Crazy, refers to this dynamic as spiritual enslavement, but no matter what we call it, it is a direct result of racism, white supremacy. And that thing, Christianity, whoa, that thing, Christianity, it might be one of the worst things that we've ever seen. The way that it's contextualized and used against Africans, I would say one of the worst things to hit the planet for Africans, definitely. Because the way that it is used to keep us submissive to a people through their deity, and when I say that, it's through the white Jesus. Do they use their deity to make us okay with white people oppressing us? Because if we fought against white people, it automatically would be a fight against white Jesus, would mean that that is a fight against their white father, God. And you cannot fight God. There's nobody who can fight God. This is how they trap us down in there. You know, a lot of our people come up and say, well, look, this is a black doctrine. They all talk about black people. There's nothing in here to say anything good about white people in here. It's all for black people. But at the end of the day, there's a little white man waiting for us. There's some spook out there that's coming to save us. We have no way of relegating the fight to ourselves because the fight is left into spirit realm. It's left for those who have no flesh. It's a spiritual fight. It's always outside of the realm of us winning today, but it's always a look for a win tomorrow. You got to let it alone. Let it alone.
I say, yo.
You know, but that's the media that we need to be spending. We got to, and another thing is that this week I want to make sure that I put in Empire. What was it? Empire? Boycott Empire. Boycott Empire. We don't want blatant homosexuality, and if I can find the article, I'll pull it up and read it. But if not, please go to our brother Didar Kamathi on Facebook. Go to his Facebook page and check out the article written by the black male who helped create the show, and his wanting to usher in just a friendliness with homosexuality. To have us just outright see homosexuals as people who need to be protected and who are always harmed, you know, a disgusting thing going on. Very disgusting. But what else we got going on? We also look forward to very soon bringing our brother Dawa Yisrael back in. You know, we're going to bring Dawa Yisrael back in for the people and make sure that we get it in with that definition of a broke ass, you know. We're going to get it in because, this war horizon, we definitely on the white sex. We know we're on the hunt for the white sex offenders. We're on the hunt to keep them weeded out of our community because we know that they breed nothing but death and destruction into the community. There's no cutting around that. We will not compromise with that stand. There is no redemption at all for one who abuses a child. No redemption at all. If you was abused, understand you was abused. But if you go around after you've been abused and you choose to abuse a child, then your ass, you on the hit list. Number one, you're at the top of the list. So make sure that y'all understand that. What else is the thing that we need to be doing? We need to be building our ranks in our community for this sort of thing happens, and we can immediately get some recourse. We can immediately go out, handle that, get that handled, get it done. You feel me? So that's something that we gotta be doing. Got to. So that's real right there. You understand me? So we definitely on the front lines right now of all things coming, all things media, all things entertainment. We have to change it to the African paradigm. Black Power Queen. All right, Sister Camille.
Hello, King?
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm steady talking. I didn't realize I had myself on mute, yo. Brother Genie had said he wanted everybody to at least watch one episode of Empire for you really to see the attack on our community. And one of the things that twisted Pet Coon, who designed this, Daniel, said was that he wrote this shit so that to combat the homophobia in the black community. This shit is specifically targeting our people to spread the white cracker beef perverted sexual behavior. Family member today, and they bring it to my attention that you have an all-black community out here, right? And they got the nerve to open up 2 halfway houses for pedophiles next to school. Now, I noticed I saw a cracker beef in this neighborhood. I'm like, that's interesting because they know cracker beef live around. So what they're doing to continue to indoctrinate our babies, it looks like they're bringing the cracker beef sick pedophiles out of their neighborhoods and planting them in black communities and a quote-unquote halfway house, and something has to be done about that.
And you're saying that. This is not just a phenomenon in your neighborhood. This is going all over. This is going all over right now. Where the people are doing this. Where they with this thing where they're opening up communities and houses for these special crazy white folks. Now, unbeknownst to me, all the way up on the other end of the block, they started doing this. I come out, see a strange-looking cracker across the street smoking a cigarette. I'm like, what is this white person standing across the street just smoking a cigarette for? Just not really fully aware who he is because, I live in the neighborhood, so I'm not seeing him too much. So, I'm like, all right. Maybe 2 days pass. Again, I see him again, standing in the same place, smoking a cigarette. Now I'm watching him. Now I wait. I watch him for like 20 minutes. He's standing there, he smokes a cigarette. He's walking back and forth. He smokes another cigarette. Boom, boom, boom. Turns around. He walks up the street. So I'm watching him walk up the street. And I see him go into the house. So I'm like, what's going on down here? So I see like 4 other people go in and out of the house, 4 other adults. And I'm like, yo, what kind of house is that where all them adults like that living down there inside their house, like 5 different adults inside one house. None of them look like they really match together. You feel me? Nobody really matches. It's not like, it don't seem like it's a white family. They're not a black family. Nobody's really together. It don't look like there's boyfriend and girlfriend. It just look like a rack of people inside the place. So they come down and, I'm talking to my people who live near it, and they're like, yo, listen, man, they just set this up like a halfway house for cats coming home, like, but they, like, mentally disturbed. It's like mentally disturbed house. So I'm like, what? Why would they put this right here on our block like that? Well, like, that's not the right place. Me personally, if I owned something like that, I wouldn't put it right there. But to put that inside our neighborhood, now I understand, why you can't put it nowhere else. Nobody else is allowing you to just bring people out of jail, people coming from mental institutions and dropping them off in your neighborhood. Nobody else doing that. Who's doing that? Who's allowing that to happen in their community? No one that I know of would allow that. So,
Yeah.
That's a strange thing.
The family, I'm with the family members that told me that, and the brother, and one of the things that he said, which was real, is that, that's something that, as a people, we supposed to be up in arms about. We ain't even saying nothing. They don't even got the decency in this community to even send a letter to let them know these pedophiles are here. And when they come me right by the school, 2 of them, I'm blown away because I thought the law said pedophile can't be by no damn school.
Yeah, I thought it was certain, like 25, it's going to be a certain feet distance.
Come on now. They damn near across the street.
2,500 feet. 2,500 feet is like a drug zone. Like, the drug zone worse than that, then, ain't it?
Send them to their neighborhood, okay? They don't live here. You put the halfway house in your goddamn community with your cracker piece pedophiles.
Already, and that's where they need to be at. That's where they need to be. And, right now we're going to go to the lines real quick. I see family out there. We're going to open up the line. We're going to go to the 1111. Let's see. All right, we're going to go to the 469. We're going to go to the 469. Praise Nat Turner, glory to God. We want to let the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. My bad, I'm messing up. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk about the black media sites that's, that also is not doing our community any good. I stay out here in Dallas, and the other day.
Hold on one second, sister. I just want you. Can you give your name real quick, please?
You can call me Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I kindly left a message on one of the, the black sites out here in Dallas, that's supposed to represent black people, because the only thing that I ever see on there is negative stories. It's always about, who got killed or who robbed this place or what celebrity, messing with what celebrity, but they never posted anything about Dr. Umar being down here. They never posted anything about the new Black Panther Party, they rallies and stuff. Only thing I ever see is negative stuff on there. So I left them a message, and they ended up blocking me. So, I feel like, not only the white media, we got to go after the ones that's not doing our community any good.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Queen. Now, listen, right? Now, this is up to you. This is up to you, because I don't know exactly your site you're talking. But if you could make me or make our callers and make the audience abreast of, aware of who exactly you're talking about, we might be able to, we'd be able to see if we can shake that out, find out if it's a real African group.
Okay, it's DallasBlack.com, and it really made me mad because we had the protests going on out here, right? So I'm trying to go look up to see where the protest is. You gonna say you DallasBlack.com, but you don't have nothing on there about the protest. You supposed to know where it's at.
Yeah, I'm going to it right now.
I told him, I said, you know better than the white Jew media.
And I'm going to tell you, see, there's some of the things, though, Queen, it might be white Jew media. It might just be.
That's what I felt like, because they didn't even respond. At least have the courtesy to respond like, okay, or something. Give me something. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, sister, we got your email. we don't do that type of thing or whatever. That could, at the least say you don't do that. But nah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at exactly the website you're talking about, DallasBlack.com. The whole front article full of, what you would call entertainers. Like a lot of entertainment. This might be, one of the things that I'm going to have to get to my people. They say it's a way that you can find. You can go down here and I'm going to have to find that website again, where you could take websites like this and just go right in and find out who owned the website and how long they owned it. We find out exactly who it is because, as you said, when you, as somebody who's looking for something, right, you looking for something, so as a black person, you're like, yo, I'm going, let me go look into Dallas Black. Let me put Dallas and Black in, or, and see if I find somebody who's socially aware. Mm-hmm. And it's a detriment to us when we find things of that nature where they're not really engendered to what we're really looking for as Africans. And as I said, a lot of these things are set up. They are not set up by people who have our best in mind. A lot of them are set up by small hats on the low. Why? Because they need a way to keep our mind into the nonsense. This is one of the reasons why I'm on Facebook. I don't share no Facebook fights. I don't like them. I don't share them. And this year is my thing. Go ahead, Queen.
No, I said me neither.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm doing this year is I'm giving you one strike. You might have slipped and shared that. You might have slipped. But it's certain things that I'm not going to allow. If I see that you shared it and you one of my Facebook friends, I'm deleting you. I don't have to talk to you about why you shared it, none of that. I just know that you can't be sincerely for Africans if you steadily you pushing the agenda now. This is directly you pushing the agenda when you promote. It's all about it's all these bad baby daddies, all the black women. I'm not pushing Empire. You won't get me talking about Tyler Perry new movie if he got one coming out. I don't know if he do. I'm just using it. You won't catch me with the Kevin Hart shit, giggly. Right, with a little dress on, and you definitely not catching me sharing black people fighting each other. I don't know what that right there definitely is something that we're gonna have to ban for this 2015. Let our people know that listen, this right here is offensive to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Queen, I got this thing, this DallasBlack.com. You gotta look out for this type of stuff. I tell you, there's one. I know it might not be directly for your community, but they got a website that I know the brother who run the website is called Africa.com. That's AFRAKA.com. And it's run by a brother. It's hosted by some brothers out of Ghana. So it's all African websites. A lot of people in there. You can connect with the people. One of the things that we need to do is take a media site like that and bring more of our people over to it. Start utilizing it a little more, because that way we need to start directing some of that Facebook energy into these other things. Because one of the things that I say is that a lot of us are understanding that we're in a war. But it's not battleground. We're not on the ground right now fighting. So a lot of us, our jobs, like you, sister, you listening to some information right now. You going out looking for information. Your job is to be that hood reporter. Your job is to make sure that you express it to your people, the direct views that's going to get them motivated. You know what I mean? And get them moving. So I understand you not really liking going to a website and like this on Dallas, and it's all Christina Milian, Kobe Bryant on the front, D'Angelo, immature.
Yeah. At least have some balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at least
some type of balance.
Ain't no balance on this. I don't know who some of these people actually I don't know who they are. I'm glad, but when I start to seeing, we got Amber Rose on the front and all this, who punched somebody out in the face. Yeah, that's all this is just, and this is what I was saying about entertainment. Entertainment is bad. It's about what you're being entertained with. It's about what you're being entertained with, and this was definitely no good. I guess I have to contact the brothers, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna contact. I don't know if it's brothers, but I'm gonna contact the people who use the site and give them a call. They got a number right here: 214-827-7977. We're gonna have to start coming in on our other days. We got a couple other things that we do, but we want to definitely get back to my sister on the line. She know that we'll call directly to your office. We'll call you directly, right on air for the record, because a lot of these things we need to put on the record. So we're gonna give them a call. Sister, just make sure you tune in. We got I got family who got another show. It's called Feet on the Ground that comes on. It's on Talk Shoe Radio, and what you can do is if you get a chance, check out Talk Shoe Radio. Put in the keyword Feet on the Ground. They'll be on later on tonight around 10 o'clock. That show will be on, but what they do is a little bit more. We'll definitely be able to get in contact with them right there, because they'll be running the show a little earlier in the day. They plan on putting on one on a Wednesday or something like that, where we go 12 o'clock. Just call people up. Call directly to their offices and see why are y'all producing this type of stuff. We need real solid answers. Thank you very much, though, Queen, for that. For coming in and letting us know about that.
Can I ask you for the radio site again? You said Feet on the Ground is at the same place where your station at?
All right, this one is Blog Talk. Now, Feet on the Ground is another one. That's Talk Shoe. Oh,
Talk Shoe. Okay.
Yeah. It's TalkShoe.com. You just put in the keyword Feet on the Ground. It's all affiliates. I'll be over there tonight. That's family over there, so I'll be over there. We're gonna be doing it up. But like I said, over here on this more subdued right here. This Black Power Block, we're gonna keep it on fire and keep it hot. But we gotta have certain avenues. So in this avenue right here, this geared to a certain crew. The late night is geared to the more the more hood type crowd. We engage more to the we engage more to the brothers who just right there out in the streets, who want to tune in and listen. Right now, this is more for the family. You understand? This for everybody. But thank you very much for calling in. Do you got anything else? Anything else you want to put in? Anything else going on down there in Dallas?
I just want to say Black Power and race first. Thank you for your time.
BB Fahodier, already. Black Power and race first.
Okay.
Yeah, already.
Brother Boy, can I just give the number to Feet on the Ground?
Yeah, go ahead. Give the number.
The number to Feet on the Ground is area code 724-444-7444. And just like War on the Rising, it's African first, second, and third, and it's even more harder. You know what I'm saying? Even more harder on the cracker beat, if you can imagine that, knowing that this is War on the Rising right here.
Yeah, but definitely, it's always race first. That's why we make sure that we come in with the ancestors who are about lopping the cracker down. And it's not about the game. It's not about the game. But I definitely thank the sister for tuning in. We're gonna go down the line real quick and see the people out there. What's going on, family? What's going on out there, family? We're gonna go down to the 914. What was that? No. The 909. The 909-909. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Black Power, how's it going out there, family?
I'm a little late getting in, but I'm just listening, man. Y'all got a good vibe and whatnot, so think you can rather call us, brother.
All right, Black Power. I don't know if it was. That's my brother. It's the open lines. We're gonna keep you up there. That's my brother Mekara out there.
Yeah, that's me, brother.
All right, black man. I thought that was you. But see,
I'm saying that sounds like Captain Africa.
That is Captain Africa. That's Captain Africa on the line.
Yeah. I'm tardy to class, so when you come late to class, you really can't get in the formal discussion. You gotta sit back and get what the last little bit you heard, listen to anybody else who took notes in class and whatnot. So I'm just listening, fam. No doubt. Well, this for the queen who just held up a little while ago, who just was on the line. This our brother Captain Africa from over there on Field on the Ground Radio. As we said, it's over. It's African first, second, and third. Race first, the same as War on Horizon. We build together. That's why I said we always make sure that we are building a connective community. So at any point in time, you not only have this show that you can go to, you can also go to the Feet on the Ground show. You can we'll be putting out some things on YouTube. Also, you can look on YouTube. You can look up War on Horizon. Some of the excellent videos that our brothers put out, especially dealing with media. You can go look up Fighting the Poltergeist parts 1, 2, and 3. Excellent media. Excellent. The breakdowns and how the brother breaks down the coded manner in which they disseminate the information to us, and also the breaking down of the different, the different ideas or stereotypes, the different archetypes that are used, to portray certain type of images to us. This is one of the reasons why we seen when the Mike Brown thing happened, they immediately found some video of someone allegedly strong-arm robbing a store, so we could immediately have the type of the gorilla, the wild African, the man who was uncontrollable, just wild and violent. So that's one of the archetypes that is always placed out there. You have the buffoon type of black man. You have the zip coon type of black man who the zip coon is one who looks dapper, but at the end of the day, he really gets nowhere, no matter how dapper he is. And you have the Magilla Gorilla, the straight killer, the Alonzo from Training Day, just the bad guy, the ultimate bad guy. And which is strange, which is one of the strangest things to see when you're dealing with a lot of paradigms in movies where they switch, where white people are where they so much want to make sure that we're confused, where they will switch us from being, where a black man is either super dumb, he's super dumb, can't do nothing worth nothing to save his life at all. But also on the other hand, he is so cunning that he will be able to sneakily sneak inside any home, any house, and rape and rob and steal from anybody that's around. Which is two totally different paradigms. You can't be stumbling, bumbling, and yes, your balls, everything happy. I was just a happy Negro. And also on the other side, you have the killer. I'm a killer also. Those two things never work together. But somehow white people pull it off. They pull it off by putting it, and confronting us with this type of thing, and we soak it in. We're nowadays you normally see someone who would be a gladiator. You have the type such as a Shaquille O'Neal, is big and is strong and is gladiatorial. He looks. He still portrays, when he gets a chance, the buffoon as best as he can when he gets a chance. He wants to be the genie in the lamp for the white boy. White man, rub the lamp, and I'm going to be the genie for you. He dresses in wigs, puts on bras and things of this nature. Clown for the white man. Well, you can't be a warrior and a clown at the same time. Those things don't even sit in the same class together. But I digress.
Well, that's an excellent point. Okay? And it is sad to think that brother, as big as he is, straight cooning. When you look at it the way you broke it down, Brother Bourne, it's a disgrace. It really is. Shaq is a damn disgrace.
7 feet 2, 300 plus. This is what they do to us. So this is how they see the sports world
the sports world is what's used to capture our African gladiators. See, these are ones, all the ones we see running, jumping. These was the strong field Negroes. That's what the white man would call them, the strong. These were the strong field Negroes who did all the heavy lifting, the back-breaking work with no problem at all. You understand? No problem. These are the ones right there where if these warrior-built men had a warrior mind, we wouldn't even be talking about some of the stuff that we're talking about. You understand? We wouldn't be putting 100,000 of our children into these schools to go run, jump, punt, kick, throw, catch, swim away, our dreams. Go ahead, brother.
That's a good point, you Ray. And it really shows you sometimes revolts and forms of political action is really based on timing. I think right now, timing is really in our favor regarding the stance we should take regarding sending our young children to their schools. I was talking earlier, I heard you guys talking about basically pedophile nature in American culture and how the so-called criminal justice system is more lenient towards pedophiles, things of that nature. And it's almost like it's set up, in a social construction type of sense to benefit, criminal justice. You got to ask the kind of question, if you study criminology, if you're in criminology, do you benefit from it? Of course you benefit from crime to some aspect. But in terms of them standing so strong on what they feel we should be politically and socially inclined to regarding their behavior, whether it be homosexual in nature, whether it be disingenuous, just in conflict with African culture, values, and so forth, we should take more of a stance then. If we African, we if it's race first and we procreation, why would we send our children, like you just stated, to these institutions, which we know by now are brainwashing camps? And we forget, a lot of times we send our children to the same schools, institutions we have problems with it, and catch amnesia as if, our children will take advantages of equal opportunities given to them and things like that. So I think right now, we're in the timing right now, and the way they're trying to force this morality, how we should fit this homosexual thing to our African morality system, we should just go for self right now in terms of our education system. And it'll open up a door in regards to showing those of us, of our family members who still sleep, those of us who still sympathize and still show multicultural values toward Europeans, this will do them a service because they'll see just the true nature of the European is once we take a strong stance and say, we're not going, very simple and military. We're not going to send our children to school. They're not going. We're not even going to declare. It's just going to happen. Next Monday, all the black population, is little to none. And instead of us just having our children sit around, we're going to organize. This is the better time for us to get back in tune with our family values, period, from the peers to the elders. We got to take in mind we really need to re-educate ourselves in regards to being race first. Black power.
Yes, sir.
Black power.
Yes, sir. That black power on that. Definitely. And that's the theme of the day, is reorientating ourselves back to black power. We must revisit some of the elders and restructure some of the things that was old and make them new. This is the reason for, elders such as M. Wally Mubarudi, who's coming with the new psychology and new paradigm for the mind state. We definitely going to have to go over that book, Sappho, Warrior's Guide to Manhood. I'm talking about this is an excellent read for everybody out there who wants to move forward in their BB for Hodier, especially in their own lives, just to structure yourself to know that to stop caring what white people think, to stop having time for their opinion or holding dear what they say. That's what's most important right now, is shaking off some of these old chains and bringing on some new paradigms. I've seen something also, thinking about change. There's always something going on in the media, and I'm not even going to bring them. I'm not even going to bring him up. You know what? I'm gonna let 2 Chainz off the hook today. I'm going to let 2 Chainz off the hook because I don't really the conversation that he was having was with the white woman Nancy Grace over marijuana. I'll say this: the brother 2 Chainz is smarter than the music that he puts out, which is extremely dangerous because he sat and stated that he was not the music that he put out. He says he has a daughter, he has 2 daughters, and the music that he said, he was like, yo, listen, I govern my own house. You got to govern your own house, which shows the disconnect to the African community, which makes it dangerous because he's intelligent and is intelligently focusing the music that he has towards other people's children in order to capture them with lyrics that will harm their psyche and put them into a mannerism of doing things that are way outside of things that are supposed to be doing, or that they should be doing at any time. It's not even age. A lot of things that he's talking about, it ain't even about being age appropriate. You just don't, there's just no room for you really wanting your black woman to be no type of whore. There's just not really room for that. There's not really room for you to, about how you would like, just flood the neighborhood with all type of drugs. There's just not things that we really, that are decent for anyone at any time. But for him to acknowledge that he knows and understands that what he is doing is something that's detrimental, he said that through omission. He said it through omission because he did not say it, but he said that he would not allow his children, that he guards his children against people like him. So that's harmful. So the brother, we got to. I'm going to strive. I'm going to give the brother publicist a call and manager. We're going to give him a couple rings because I seen that and I want to speak to the brother about that. And I also want to talk to him about that name 2 Chainz because me in particular, I'm of the thought that I'm still not convinced that it doesn't stand for 2 Chainz, one on my leg and one on my brain. I'm thoroughly convinced that's what it stands for. Even maybe some, and I can't see it any other way. He might, he said it stands for some other thing. He said that it stands for change, not chains, but it's really supposed to be 2 Chainz. Like I changed once and now I'm changing to this. And I was like, I didn't really catch it, but he say he's from Georgia, so they try to use a certain type of, it's like a slang. Like instead of putting a GE at the end, I put a Z. It's phonetics or whatever. But I'm not really convinced of that. But we have to be very aware that a lot of these people who are putting out a lot of what we would call music and things of that nature, who seem to be entrenched in what they would call the hood life, are invariably not college graduates, articulate people, but they have learned to market themselves. Even someone as Gucci Mane, who people, you would see this brother and think that this brother, he's crazy. College graduate. This is a college graduate that you're dealing with. So you have to be very aware of how slick that these people come on and bring us all of these detrimental ways of living. So with that being said, we can move on. Since Black Power, you got anything to add to me?
Well, I'm not buying the 2 Chainz explanation, and it shows that he is definitely of the cracker beast mindset because he's saying that he don't give a damn the effects of his poison on other Africans, as long as he getting paid and he makes sure his daughters don't listen to the poison that he pushing out here on the street. They got our young babies still killing each other instead of realizing that they got a common enemy, got our sisters out here thinking that they're no more than the flesh that encompass their essence, so that's garbage. And I hope that we are able to have him on this program so he can explain himself. And one last thing I'd like to say to the family, when it comes to the Cracker Beast media, we have to look at this media as lying out. And why I bring that up, because the brother had mentioned Mike Brown. And one of the things that Dick Gregory had said at that lecture at UAM was that the video of, quote-unquote, Brother Brown in the store, he had on shorts. But the video of the brother in the street after being murdered, by the Cracker Beast, he got on pants. Now, so far, I've seen the video again after he spoke on that, and he is correct. The video, quote unquote, the supposed Mike Brown has on shorts. And I'm now comparing that to him laying out in the street. So we have to really look at, if we're going to look at the Cracker Beast media, we got to look at it as in the eye of opposition. You know, we got to look at it like straight out the gate. We know they're lying, and then we're going to scrutinize the lie.
That's funny you said that, Sister Camille, because my father, he said, why do you think a lot of these cameras don't have sound? You can do a roll, you know, you just looking at an image and you have no context on really what's going on other than the image. You know what I mean? A lot of them have no sound to go with the image.
You know what we're dealing with. You know, in terms of that
open line. 2 Chainz, I mean, I wouldn't be too hard on 2 Chainz. He's an entertainer. His role is not that of his role. His dad is to play the role model in leading our future generations into playing the role of house nigga in regards to the I apologize for saying the N-word, but basically his role, his job is to plant seeds of influence in being an entertainer, and there's certain avenues of being an entertainer. So I asked the question: the white cracker female who he's debating, who benefits from that debate? And so we get caught up, like Dr. Clark said, into assuming a lot of times that Europeans have big reforms or things of progression that we're moving ahead too, or that it somehow benefits us, and we should know better that it never benefits us. That whole 2 Chainz thing in essence was not even structured to benefit us. So we got to look at really who benefits from that, who benefits from using 2 Chainz image in entertainment to move forward, I guess, political advancements toward legalizing marijuana. Why would she take a debate on such a topic, given the position when she's spoken on a lot of, if I was 2 Chainz, I wouldn't want to talk nothing about, marijuana legalization with her. I want to talk about a whole lot of criminalization issues and race issues, that she's really made her career off of.
Listen, right? You say that, right? That's what I said. That's a strange person 2 Chainz to take that debate with over the marijuana legalization, and couple that along with the video that was being showed during the I didn't even want to talk, but during the program when I brought it up, it was just in my mind, just thinking about media and how they manipulate us and what things that they want to put in our brains. But they used him as they were showing white people who were giving marijuana to children like 2 years old, letting them smoke. You know what I'm saying? Just go real wild. And it was, now, you bring a black man up to debate what white women is doing to their children. That's the only reason why I really remember what was going on, because I was like, why would you have, this is a black man. What is the reason for the black man to debate the legalization of marijuana, juxtaposing him with a white woman who gave with the nemesis of the project is that it's a white woman who's giving marijuana to her child. And then another one who allowed them, another set of white folks who let their child die in the house in a fire. But these white folks. So what does a black man have to do with any of this? But it's still the image of criminalizing the black man. Because why have white people up here debating that? Because the white woman really thought she was going to win the debate. Ended up losing the debate, to me. Right. But they really thought that she was going to win the debate and then have a black man up there looking bad. Look at him. He's defending this. There's another way he defends criminality. Let's get the black man to defend something that we say is criminal. Makes him look, it just put the whole onus on all black men. Look at it. They care less. They don't care nothing about children. They only care about smoking weed.
Well, now
interesting.
Now if he took it, I mean, he did take it for, it was strictly that she had more to benefit off of it than, generally he did. And out of all rappers, why 2 Chainz? let's be real. I mean, Wiz Khalifa, we bring it around. Wiz Khalifa didn't have a lot of in and outs. That's another topic to get on regarding his lifestyles in regard to ours. But he's been in and out regard. He took a strong stance on marijuana out here in California, being that he's from Pittsburgh, whatnot. Snoop Dogg, other Wild 2 Chainz.
Mhm.
And how did his Southern biography reflect the discussion? You see what I'm saying? In regards to, like you said, perpetuating certain stereotypes.
And you know what she did? You know what she did to him? She took and brought up his record. That's what she did. She said, you graduate. She said, the things that you portray are so far different than the person that you are. That's not the person that you are. You graduated from high school with a 4.0. You got a scholarship to college. She was like, hold up, man. I'm going to try to separate him from everybody real quick. Put him on separate. You way out over here. Look at you. They're like, look what you doing. You influencing people to do this, but look at you doing that. You ain't as, you ain't as slow as what you act like.
Character altogether.
Mhm.
That's outside her character altogether. She the first person to scrutinize and criticize any black. You know what I'm saying? She follows the racist white agenda to the T in regards to her job as a news anchor.
Mhm.
But she quick to big up 2 Chainz, like you said. I didn't even watch it, but I know the game that they run and so forth. So, it's all exploitative, man.
Well, the way I see it, that's what this coon ass kid. Clearly she tried to blow him out the water, show that he's fronting, putting on a character. And, that's what the coon gets for going on her show. I don't even care. F2 Chainz, no talk.
She tried to, and I would tell you, though, I'll tell you this. At the end of the day, as I watched it, I really have no, I don't rock with no 2 Chainz or none of that. The one thing I was glad, though, is that the black man destroyed her argument and caught her up in what she was trying to portray him as being someone who was a reckless drug user, defending other reckless drug users. That was the one thing that I seen in there. I was like, she couldn't get him. She trying. She doing a lot of different. She's moving hard to get this brother, but she don't got him. And so the only thing that I seen at the end of the day is that he didn't come off as. I'm glad he did not come off as unintelligent. I'm happy for that. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, but she let us know he was already smart. Didn't she say he graduated with 4.0?
Yeah, so he had to put that to use.
Well, black power on that.
He use that 4.0 that 4.0 understanding in the wild, making all that 2 Chainz, making all that shit. You really ain't using it on your brains. But I'm glad that the brother did show that even though you try to portray me as someone who just smokes marijuana, is reckless with what I'm doing and things of that nature, I'm glad that he was able to solidify that he was not an idiot, did not, even though they were trying to hit him, he kept our persona of being someone who is a well-made man together. You know what I mean? Like, he blew the stereotype of we just dumb. It showed me something that white people really, they really get it. Is that a lot of us are always playing the game. We're always playing the game. We know that you will not accept us as intelligent in order for me to get money. It's only a certain few. But if I act a fool, you'll give me all I can. This college, I went to college. No matter what college I went to, no matter what the education I got, 4.0, the only way that I can really make it here is to dumb everything down and just go wild on records. So it just showed the natural hypocrisy in America. But look, if you are doing good, you still have a hard way to get some type of recourse out of it.
Mhm. But the cracker beast, being blind by their perverted racism, Even the cracker beats that can't read and write think they smarter than the smartest one of us. You know?
Already.
Okay.
That's racist and white supremacy.
Word up.
That's racist and white supremacy. Listen, family, I'm going to go down the line. We're going to see what else we got going on here. We're going to go down to the 203. We're going to open your line up, 203. Black Power, praising that Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Hey, what's up? This is Sierra. We listening in.
All right, family. Some family just listening in. As our family up in Connecticut.
I'm sorry. No, my husband just looked at me. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Because he's like, you get that right. So my bad. I'm sorry, y'all.
Black power to your king, too.
Thank you. We listening. This is a good show. This is a real
Black
good
Power, family.
Listening. All right.
Yeah, it's our family up there in Connecticut. Brother PJ, Sister Sierra, holding it down for the family. But yeah, man, as I said, this is wartime. Earlier in the show, it's wartime. We're dealing with wartime media. We're dealing with a wartime expression. That means that everything that we must do is either a countermeasure or all-out offense. This wartime that we're dealing with, we've been on the defensive for long enough. Now we have to start putting our pressure on to the beast that we're dealing with. We cannot be afraid. We've been through enough to not be afraid any longer. You understand? So, saying that, we'll go back down through the lines one more time. We got the ones, we got the all ones out there, the ones, but I don't know about y'all all ones. I go to that's the 619. Oh, wait, let me see. 619. 619, your line open. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Your line is open. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. We'll close that down. Let me see if I can pull these other articles up. Like I said, it's open mic tonight. I get a chance to put it on. But we're going to definitely contact this site, Dallas Black. There's another site that I just went to that some brothers put me on to, and I got to find out, I think this King Noble, Quinn Noble, I think Quinn Noble got a site and bringing and hustling black people to it. I'm not going to get a name of the site, but I'm going to look into this thing. But we got to be very leery of what's going on out here because, like I said, they got a lot of stuff being put out. As the Queen saying, we're looking for media, we're looking for outlets, and we get spent into a different direction. The sister was looking to link up with other people who were protesters. She's looking to just be involved, get out there, put her feet on the ground, get action in. And she's being steered off into the wrong direction. Basically not getting any contact back from people right there in their own community. I mean, this is what we have to be. We have to start to be mindful of each other and hold each other accountable for what is black media, what is African media. Are you allowed to use black like that? Can we allow you to keep black inside the title of what you're doing? We have to start thinking in that mannerism. Can you still fly that flag? Are we going to allow you to fly that RBG flag? Are we going to start taking it personal?
Taking it personal over here.
So that's our main thing. We got to start taking it personal, family. And with that being said, it's been a short night I was in earlier. Y'all missed me for the first couple of minutes. I apologize for that. The sister was in. I'm talking, was muted out. But it's definitely been a great night. Like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I wanted to see if the sister had anything that she wanted to drop down before the show ended. And we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the closeout. Tell the people that listen, it's Black Power Block. Well, go ahead. So if anything you want to close out with, now I'll drop the closing.
Oh, thank you, King. I just want to say, that I marry our family, and Mary, as I learned from Ashwa Kwesi, stands for love. So I'm trying to incorporate all kind of African terms into my lexicon. So that's why I'm using Mary. I just want to say I marry our family that supports and listens and calls in, because it's about us connecting with each other. At the end of the day, my dream, and I know our dream is the same. We're looking for a BB for Hodier. Even if it ain't in my time, I rest assured knowing that my babies, the babies after us, will have that a BB for Hodier. We are looking for retribution and nothing else. Black power.
Black power. And, as the Queen said, it's race first. Hold on, let me see. Is this? Oh no, I think that this might be the sister that we opened up. Let me check her line. This 619. Is this the Queen from Dallas we checked in on earlier?
No, sir.
Oh, all right. Black Power. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Come on in, Sonny.
Yes, sir. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. I totally agree with the sister. I just think, man, that we have to take a no-nonsense approach. I mean, with respect to individuals such as 2 Chainz. We can't make any excuses for these individuals, man. I mean, the brother might be a college graduate and so on and so forth, but at the same time, I mean, really, man, he's not really representing the way that he should be. And again, I have to agree with the Queen on the panel, man. I just think that that more or less, these cats, man, they're a liability. You either an asset or you're a liability, man. And these cats are a liability. And they got to get dealt with, as far as I'm concerned. So I just think it's just time out for all the excuses, man. I mean, more or less, man, the situation that black people are in right now, we are dire straits. We really are. And it's time for these cats to stand up and be accountable. And if they're not going to be accountable, then they got to get dealt with.
Already, Black Power to that, Tony. Black Power to that. And earlier, I hope the words that I used didn't make it seem as though I was appreciative of 2 Chainz or any type of agreement that he was some type of good thing for the community at all. I definitely don't agree with him. Like you said, a lot of these entertainers, we're going to have to start we got to draw a hard line and make sure that we come into them in a serious mannerism, because they are detrimental to the community. And when you're a detriment to the community and we see that you're a detriment and we come to you as civilized people one time, if you can't change, then we're going to have to bring the change to you. There's only one way to change people. You know what I mean? Talking to people don't change them. Not for me, not too many times. They got to see it. Then, they got to get rough before you start changing. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
you don't have to make it rough for some people.
Absolutely, and I don't think that that what you was doing. I don't think you were co-signing. I mean, I understand your position, Brother Bourne. I don't think that that's what you were doing, but I mean, unfortunately, individuals that might not be, I guess, how could I say, might not be as well read as you are and the sister are. They may hear that and they may misinterpret that. And so that's one of my concerns. And so that's the reason why that's the reason why I think that we have to, like you said, we have to take a strong position. We have to draw that line in the sand. You know what I mean? And more or less just make it to where beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is what we're saying. And again, the brother might be a college graduate or whatever. And that's all well and good. But at the same time, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, how is your degree? How is that benefiting the masses of the people? And if you're not working in the best interest of your people, I mean, really, again, you're a liability. You're just somebody. That's you're black capitalist. You're just somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's just, making money, and more or less you're doing it off the backs of your people.
And you saying that, brother, that's normally, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 college graduates, that's what they learn to do. They learn to do, basically, not
that's what you go.
Not every,
that's what you go.
Not 100%, but the majority of your degree is going to be utilized. It's going to be the majority of the information that you're going to get in your education is going to be used, or it's supposed to be used on your own people, not to benefit your people, but for you to be able to learn how to better capitalize off your people. Because as you said, we're in a capitalist system. So you're exactly right with that, black man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And, I like to definitely thank you for calling in, dropping them jewels. Who is this, matter of fact?
This is Brother Tyler calling from Detroit, Michigan.
All right. Black Power, family.
Well, Black Power, King.
Black Power, BB for Hodier.
BB for Hodier, definitely. Grab heaters with no delay. But we'd definitely like to thank the brother for coming in and making sure that was clarified. Yes, we are taking a hard line over here. We're not playing kumbaya and holding hands. We're not playing, and I didn't say kumbaya. I said kumbaya. We ain't doing kumbaya and holding hands with people who are detrimental to our community. We're not over here. We're not repraising Khalid. We long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. So you won't hear on over here the Michael Luther the King spill. This ain't going to be Michael Luther the King type of talk over here. We're taking the hard line. No integrationists, no homosexuals. Again, I'd like to thank the brother for coming in and making sure that was clear, because that is true. Sometimes when you hear language, some people who are some people take it as they want to take it. They're taking it as they want it to be, because it's harder to take it in another way. So, we always push the strong line. And with that being said, I'd like to give a BB for Hodier. Thank the brother for coming in. That was the last caller who got their hand up. We got other callers up there, but y'all don't got your hands up. And the people who had their hands up, I went to you and you didn't speak. So, I had to go on by. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to Black Power Block tonight. We do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. We normally from 7 to at least 9 o'clock, 7 to 10. You can call in on Monday, 7 p.m. Same thing. You got our brother, the Irritated Genie, who's always in, doing it right. And, we always fighting this white sexual assault over here on War Horizon. As usual, we didn't come to be friends. We came here to save you. So we will leave out with a praise and turn of glory to Garvey. Lord, live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And if you got time, please listen in to our Queen Jasira and our national and our Black nationalist anthem as we close out. And we're going to close out like we come in. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Praise Harriet Tubman. Glory to Ida B. Wells. And long live the spirit of Sister Fannie Lou Hamer.
Oh, say, can you see crackers oppressing me as they spew forth their lies and plan my people's demise, whose broad stripes and bright stars represent all the scars inflicted upon my race, a great people displaced. Now the time has come for the revolution as we creep through Oh, say does that red, black, green African flag wave your land of the free? For